Okay, so my name's Kevin Kimmel. I live out in section 6-1 out in the back on Yarmouth by the lake with the dam and all that water can go on. But so I've been here about 5-6 years. Unfortunately, I still work, but this is my last year. This is it. So now I get to play with all my toys. And I have been frustrated with computers since about 1983. I bought my first compact portable at Sears for $3,200. Came with dual floppy disk drives. I got a computer loan before I got a car loan. My car only cost $500. Paid cash for that. But today what we're going to go over is cloud storage. I do want to mention one thing. If you've been in some of my other presentations, you know I'm a drone guy. And I have been watching the Olympics the last couple of weeks. And I am just so excited to watch the luge and the bobsled and the skiers going off the ramps and all these guys being followed by all these drone photographs, and it is insane and it's unbelievable. I don't know how they don't crash into anything, following a guy on a luge going 75 miles an hour down an ice pipe, but they follow him for about a third of the way down the luge. It's unbelievable.
They got cameras online.
Yeah, and they had a little blurb one night about how they did it, and they showed the guy with the first person goggles and how he was doing it. Like, that's, I hover. And that's about it. But so today we're going to talk about cloud storage and stuff. But first off, like, what is and where is the cloud? So if you Google it, the cloud is somewhere near Richmond. There's City Cloud, but that's a smokehouse, so that's probably like, a vaping place. They're all pretty much vaping places, so that's not really the cloud we were looking for, or at least the one I was looking for. So we're going to answer a few questions. So what is cloud storage? Why do I need it? How much do I need? Who offers it? And what's the cost of it? Because there are some costs depending on how much you want. If you don't have a lot of stuff, you probably get by for free. If you got a lot of stuff, well, then you got to sort of figure out what best works for you. We're going to have 3 examples of major providers of cloud storage, and then I'll give you a little summary of my experience. In my house, I have PCs, I have Macs, I have just collected stuff for 40 some odd years. Been teaching digital photography, I found out yesterday, since about 1998, and even before that. Carrying it on floppy disks, and then I took it from floppy disks and put it on hard drives, and I took it from hard drives and put it into computers and other computers and cloud storage, and so I've got like 5 copies of everything, and then sifting through all that, trying to figure out what to keep and what to toss. So what is cloud storage? Cloud storage is a computer. It's just not here. So it's just like storing stuff on a hard drive like you did in your house, except now you're using somebody else's hard drive somewhere else. Well, how do you get there? The way you get there is over the internet. So you transfer your data over the internet from wherever you are, on your phone, on your computer, wherever, over the internet, typically encrypted, to a secure site, and then they store it for you, okay? And it typically looks like one of these places, a dark, cool room with a lot of racks and storage and humming going on, and that's all those are just like PCs just stacked up, and they're like 6 foot high, and there's about maybe 15 in a stack, and they go aisles and aisles and aisles, and this is the kind of thing that they call a data center. when you hear about a data center going in, they're building a giant building, a giant warehouse, and they're going to jam it full of hard drives and memory. And they probably don't use hard drives anymore, right? But they're going to jam it full of memory, and they're going to, so they can accumulate and save your stuff, okay? So it's digitally transferred over the internet. So why do I need it? Well, you can, of course, if you've got a phone, you've been taking photos on it, you got maybe videos on your phone, you may have documents that you want to preserve. I have no idea why anybody would want to keep all their emails, but some people might. I delete them as soon as I can. And then your texts and your phone, they can also be backed up. And any of the applications that you use on your computer or your phone, if you have files related to those, I draw stuff up for my 3D printer, so I have files for that. You know, it takes me hours sometimes to create 3D models and things and all that, so I want it saved, I want them backed up, and I use the cloud for that. And then, of course, you know, you spend time. I've been using computers at work and CAD systems for a very long time, and you know, you take weeks or months to draw something, and you just can't let it go. And of course, I got copies of that stuff too. Someday I'll figure out how to let go of it. So it can come from your computer or your phone. Is all stuff the same? Well, no, not to me. So there's work stuff, there's professional stuff, there's personal stuff, okay? Stuff you want to share and stuff you don't want to share, okay? So you have to organize your information so that you could share it securely with your kids or maybe your accountant or somebody like that, or family stuff. You have photos, files, those kinds of documents you want to share. Or I just got a question the other day from a neighbor about sharing and converting music from different platforms because they want to share music across the family. And these are some of the things that I've accumulated as photography. This picture up here, right there, my house is right, come on, you can do it. Right there. This is 6.1, that's 6.2 before they were putting foundations in. That's with my drone. I have 3D printer files and drafting, and that's the kind of the drone that I have that I use on occasion. So how big of a cloud do I need? Well, it depends how much stuff you have. And if you've been upgrading your phones, like I have, every iteration of every phone takes a better picture. If you remember, back, I don't know, I had an iPhone 4. It took about like a 5 megapixel photograph. Well, now when you go to, I have an 11 now, which takes a 12 meg. That's how many dots are in the photograph. So the more dots, the more things to store. So the bigger the file, and they come and go depending on what you're taking a picture of and the colors and the resolutions. But they can fill up your phone fairly quickly. Okay, and then the solution to that, when you go back to the phone store, is, well, you need another phone. You know, and so you need a new phone. So then when you get your new phone, the new phone comes with an even better camera. Well, now you need more storage on your new phone, and that's another option. So, and if you leave all your photos on your phone is basically your storage, and it can be backed up so you don't lose anything, but you also have to get into photo management of, do you really need to keep all the photographs that you take? I know, what my kids tend to do is, when they're taking a picture, they hit the button 3 times. It's everything has 3, so in case somebody moves or shifts or smiles or frowns. So you've got 3 of everything, you know, and 1 might be good. I've been going through my photography, I'll say, library that I've accumulated, and I had probably 1,100 photos on my phone that I couldn't access. I couldn't copy them off. I couldn't find out where they were. And you know, the other 3,000, whatever, I was able to get off. But these 1,200 that were missing were all pre like 2009. And I was like, where is this? And finally I remembered I had an iMac in my basement on a shelf and I hadn't used it since like 2010 and had been sitting there. Well, all those photographs were on that computer, on that shelf. And I dragged it out, plugged it in, put new batteries in the mouse and the keyboard, fired it up, and actually found all those photos. So then I went through this weekend, since Monday was a holiday, that's where I was. It was raining. So I was sitting in front of my iMac, sorting through and looking and finding all the duplicates and, you know, Halloween photos and all these kinds of things, and sort of just going through and deleting what I didn't want and making sure I had, you know, why? I don't know. I'm going to give them all to my kids and let them figure it out. But at least I have them. And occasionally I would find a good one and send it to my daughter or my son, you know, because he's 35 now. So when I'd find him with a snowman when he was 3, boom, there, send him off to him. Just for and to show his wife what he looked like when he had hair, because he's bald now. But he had this big curly mop in high school that he didn't comb, and now nothing. Yeah. So when you do these iterations of how much I need, different phones, their photos are different sizes. So when you talk about how much space you need, you can, as your phone gets newer, the number of photos you can store in the same amount of space goes down. So, you know, if you have 5 gigabytes of storage space, the old phones, 5,000 photos. I don't even have 5, but you know. So, but as you go to the newer phones, the i7s through 15s have a 12 megapixel camera. That's what I have. That's about 1,388 photos, give or take 100 or so. Well, I could rip through that, you know, in a couple of years probably. So that means when you get that much on, now you have to have someplace else to put those photos, or your phone has to have more capacity. Well, the newer phones have a 50 megapixel camera, and the iPhone 15, I think they're up to 17 now or something. So if you still had that 5 gigabytes, that's 250 to 500 photos. That's nothing. You know, my daughter can take 500 photos in a week. You know, so it's just not so. And then I noticed, I was talking to Cal just the other day about this. I saw a new ad on TV for the folding Galaxy phone that they're advertising during the Olympics. It's a phone where the screen, it doubles when you fold out. So it literally it's literally this big when you open it up. Well, it has a 200 megapixel camera. So like one photo would probably exceed the 5 gigabyte storage of it. But the phone, luckily, comes with a 1 terabyte storage capacity. And if you want to upgrade, you can get 2 terabytes in your phone. A terabyte, that's crazy. But the phone also costs $2,000. So, yeah, that was, to me, that was just shocking and ludicrous and not plausible. But I'm sure my daughter will have one next month. How much do I need? Still, you know, you have to talk about videos. When you take videos, they have different resolutions of videos. If you want, you have, again, this is dots per frame and then number of frames per second. The higher the number and the more frames per second, the more storage you need. If you move your phone over and want to take a slow motion video, those are really cool. Well, they take 240 frames per second. So that's 4 times as much, or what, 30, 60 frames is typical. 60 or 30? 60? I think 60 is typical, so that's like 4 times the number of frames per second that the phone is taking in order to show you a slow motion kind of thing. So if you know you've got a lot of slow motion videos of your grandkids running around, you know, and playing with the dogs, all of a sudden, boop, your phone's out of memory. Yeah. So who offers the cloud? So the cloud, some providers are Google, Microsoft, Apple, those are names we've all heard of. And then others are Amazon, iDrive, and Dropbox. Some of you may have heard of Dropbox. They were pretty popular for me, about 10, 15 years ago. So each of these offer like a beginner's cloud storage, and they all have different values. So the OneDrive will give you 5 gigabytes. The iCloud gives you 5 gigabytes for free. Google Drive is 15 gigabytes, and Dropbox is 2. So unfortunately, I work in the with Microsoft, so I have to deal with OneDrive for work. I deal with the iCloud for my phone at times, and I have a Google account, so I have the Google Drive. So I'm just a mess. I'm all over the place. And I have made it a quest this year to make sure I don't have, you know, redundant things on all these drives. I just don't need any of that. So by the time I retire, I should be off of OneDrive completely. And the iCloud is just backing up my phone that I keep on my hip. And I'm pretty much going to Google Drive for my backups now. But unfortunately, I have more than 15 gigabytes of photos on my phone, so so when I go to back it up, I'll have to. Right now, I pay Apple to back up my phone because I have so much stuff. But eventually, I'll get off of that and get to the Google Drive, and I'll tell you why in a bit. So some of the cost, okay, 15 gigabytes for Google is free. $1.99 a month for 100 gigabytes. You know, if you clean up everything, you might not need as much storage. My photos alone were 14.8 gigabytes, and so I was constantly getting error messages that they couldn't back up my phone. So that's when I realized, and I was paying Apple to back up my phone already. So I'm consolidating. Because I didn't want to give up Apple because I couldn't find all those 1,100 photos I was looking for. So I didn't want to tell Apple to take a hike because I figured I might need that backup to find all those photos. So what does it cost? So here, these are the rates for Google Drive, up to 30 terabytes, $150 a month. I don't know who would ever need, somebody might need 30 terabytes, but 15 gigabytes goes a long way. And you can share this with 5 users, so you can share it with a family. You can also, what? Go ahead.
5 users, monthly, and an annual discount.
And monthly and an annual discount across the $199. It's not, 5 people don't pay $199 a month.
No.
One person pays $199 a month,
So
and those
share
5 people,
and
yeah,
pay once a year.
and then they can share. Or you pay once a year, right? So those are things that are available from Google Drive. So the cost is 0 up to 15, but these are all the apps on Google that are, so and you work over the cloud and you store things on the cloud. This presentation was created over the cloud, it's stored on the cloud, so I don't have a copy of it home. You also get access to Google's Plus, or like Gemini AI, which is their artificial intelligence component that can help you. I haven't played with too much of it yet, but it can help you write things or make presentations. I almost asked it to make this presentation, but I didn't quite have enough time because I already had one. It's like so, but I wanted to see how my interpretation of the cloud storage was compared to Gemini's, but I didn't get that far. I think mine is much better. Yeah. But for home, I use all the, I use the slides is what you would use for the presentations. I use Docs, which is like Microsoft Word to type letters and things of that nature. Sheets is like Excel, so you can do spreadsheets. That's there, okay? And this is all free, okay? I currently pay Microsoft, I think $10 a month to use Word and Excel and those type of things, and so I'm paying, but when I transition out all of my work stuff, I won't need access to Microsoft anymore. So then I can, and the function Drive over here, right there, is this is where you access the your cloud storage, and you can share folders and files. And this is also how our committees share files and storage on Google Drive. And they have secure folders that they store things in, and then they have other folders and files that they share with one another for review or comment and that kind of thing. So Apple comes with 5 gigabytes free. See, and you can get 50 gigabytes for $1.99 a month.
No, it's 99
cents.
$9.90.
Yes, 99 cents a month.
99. What'd I say?
$1.99.
Okay. 99. A dollar.
Yeah, there you go.
$1. Minus a penny. 99 cents a month, 50 gigabytes. That's how I back up my phone right now, using that. And if you want more than 50 gigabytes, it goes up from there. 2 terabytes, and it goes up right now to 12 terabytes, but I'm sure if you wanted more, they would give it to you. They would just charge you for it. Okay? So Microsoft right now is $6.99 a month. They've been going up and down a little. They were threatening to raise it last year, but apparently they didn't, because I just checked this not too long ago. So it's $6.99 a month for one person, and I get access to Office 365, Word, Excel, and I get 1 terabyte of storage on what they call their OneDrive. Okay, and right now that's where all my work stuff is. So I keep all my work crap on Microsoft, and so it doesn't get mixed up with any of my other stuff. So, yeah, because it's just too much information. So if you ask Google about Microsoft, this is what they tell you. So I took Gemini and said, hey, what are the current prices for Microsoft 365? So it's $6.99 a month for one person. It's $9.99 for 6 terabytes or up to 6 people, if you have multiple people and you want to share the family, or premium for $20 a month, and that gets you, includes extensive Copilot AI features. Oh, yeah, there you go. Well, you can get all that for free with Google, okay? And you gotta remember, not all AI is the same. Okay, so Copilot AI on Microsoft is not exactly the same as Gemini AI, is not as the same as Grok on, yeah. And the thing with AI now is, I got an email from Pete Hegseth a couple weeks ago, about a month ago, as all government contractors did, that the government is now wants us to use AI in our workplace for the engineers and anybody. So they have set up a secure access to Gemini AI for all federal workers. We can't feed anything into it that's secure, secret, or anything like that, but we can ask it generic questions and things, and I deal with building codes and buildings and systems and stuff like that, so we're experimenting with it, I'll say, through then. And it's secured, and it's on their own servers, so they don't share any of that outside. And it develops its, I'll say, library of intelligence from the questions and the data that we feed it. There are a lot of other, I deal with a lot of codes. So there are a lot of code entities that are very upset with AI because they're accessing their copyrighted material and providing guidance outside of their environment. And the code people are just freaking out because they don't know what information is going to be provided by those AI tools. So now they're developing their own AI tools on their own websites. And they say, unless you use our AI tool, you will not get the right answer. Well, who knows if they're going to get the right answer if they use their tool, but anyway. So, and then you have to worry about, it's getting kind of maddening, but, and then you have to save all the stuff. And I got a little off topic, and I'm sorry. There's nothing new with storage. So Google Secure Sharing, you share with a specific email. So if you send information or a link to someone and they accidentally share it with someone else, unless they access it from their email account, they won't be able to get into that secure folder. So it basically locks it from other people accessing the information. And that's recently what I did with my brother for family documents, living will, healthcare proxies, power of attorney, all those kinds of things that he and I needed to have access to. And then and tax information to go to an accountant, and it's just specifically to them. So it's not shared. I'm not giving my tax information to the World Wide Web. I'm just sharing it with one specific accountant. So what am I going to do? Myself, I've been talking about it a bit. I'm retiring the end of the year. No worky work, no more. Okay, Microsoft, see ya. Been dealing with you for over 40 years. I've had enough. iPhone photos, videos, backup for the iCloud for now until I sort it out and figure out where all my doubles, triples, and all that stuff are, and sort through it. And when I get it all arranged, it goes all over to Google, to Google Drive. The Google apps I'll use for word processing, spreadsheets, slides, G Drive, and a little bit of AI, but I probably won't use that too much. Special programs, I deal with CAD and 3D drawings. A lot of it's PC based, and so I have solid state storage and Google backup for that. I still have iMacs and PCs in the house, probably always will. I like being frustrated. Not sure, but I might eventually get a flip phone when I retire, and no camera, no email, maybe text. Thinking about, I'm trying to find somebody who has an old pager, maybe that's still good. Maybe I'll just go with that. But I did have a conversation with my son-in-law not too long ago, and I was going back and forth about maybe I'll just have an iPhone, and I'll get rid of my phone, my iWatch, I'm sorry. And I'll get rid of my phone, and then I'll just have this little thing on my wrist, and I won't be able to read it because I'm on my glasses. So, you know, I'll probably have some kind of alert thing that my wife, secret message she'll send me, I'll know to answer, otherwise I'll ignore it. So I've created some secure Google Drive folders for families, and I'm going to work on family photos and ancestry research as well with relatives. I have a lot of very old photographs. I had a cousin who did a lot of family history work back probably in the 70s. So a lot of it is typed on a typewriter. And so I am scanning it in, and then I provided a lot of the photos. But the ancestry book that she created has been mimeographed so many times, the photos, you can't even see them anymore. So I'm going back and filling in the holes with the scanning the photos now and putting them in. They were literally, I think they were taped to the paper, and then she Xeroxed it, and then she put it in a Xerox and made a copy for everybody in the family back in like maybe 1980, somewhere in that range. So I'm gonna try to put all that in and update it. So I got lots of things to do next year. Let's say, so now what I'm asking you to do is basically get out there and save that stuff. And in the infinite wisdom of George Carlin, trying to be happy by accumulating possessions is like trying to satisfy hunger by taping sandwiches all over your body. So basically, it's up to you. You only know what you want to keep and what you want to throw away. So you have to sort of go through it, itemize it, and figure out, and then pick the service that's right for you. But I'm here to tell you that the cloud is secure if you use it correctly. If you use it and only share with the people that specific to that email and things, it's very secure, it's encrypted, and no one can get to it. Okay.
You ready for questions yet or no?
I am actually I am ready. Yes.
So
George
can you
Sullivan.
kind of walk somebody like myself who has no idea, how do you create, where do you go and create the shared folder?
Okay, so do you have a G Drive email? A Gmail
Yes, I
account?
do.
Okay, you have a Gmail email. So you
Yeah.
have access to 15 gigabytes of storage space.
Yeah.
You don't even know it, right?
No,
So
I
do know.
pay for more. So
So you pay for more.
I am using Google Drive, and I do have up to 100 gigabytes of storage.
And you don't know how to create a folder?
Yeah, but you're saying something that's called, you're saying something that's called shared.
Shared, yes.
Okay?
So-
Shared. The key word is shared, and maybe I'm already doing it and I don't even realize.
You're not. There's two.
No.
So
Yeah.
there's two processes. There's the home page in Google Drive,
Yeah.
and then there's the folder structure in Google Drive.
Uh-huh.
And you can have folders and subfolders, and you can share or not share any of those with anyone.
Thank you.
Or a group of people.
Ah,
Yes.
So
Okay.
the example that you probably should use is like if you're going to set up a legacy file, a legacy folder for your family to be able to access all of your documents
Uh-huh.
and all the private information and all the secure things that you want to have that your lawyer probably told you to put in a 3-ring binder or put in a thumb drive. And 10 years from now, they're not going to know where it is. The drive with the link, that's all they need.
So I'm already, I'm a chair, okay, I'm a committee chair.
Yep.
So I already have access to shared drive. That's where I do all my committee stuff.
Right.
So within that system is where the folder setup is for me to be able to set up a family sharing function.
Okay, so hold on right there. All right,
No.
so now here's what I'm going to tell you. You have a Gmail account associated with Cornell Heritage,
Yes.
and it's like
Yeah, it's a separate Gmail
Don't
account.
use that.
it's a separate. You're right.
Got it.
So that
Don't
email
use that
you
account.
use,
Use
you
my
do
personal.
not use that account for any of your personal information.
Got it. So
You know the guys on your committee, that's not safe.
But I understand now where to go, thank you.
Yeah, so you log into G Drive with your personal account.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it was right there in front of me, I
Yeah.
just didn't realize it.
No,
Yeah.
and that's okay. I mean, I have 4 Gmail emails.
Like 3.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
and then I have Yahoo emails,
Yeah.
and I have
Yeah.
work emails.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got a question.
Yeah.
Do you need to have iCloud email in order to share to iCloud, to the cloud?
You need to have, so with,
No.
yeah.
So I usually suggest, there's a couple things I do. Most people, the majority of their data is in photos, by far. Photos and video. Documents, it's kind of a trivial volume. That's why they give you 5 gig for nothing. Because most people are satisfied with that. The minute you start saving files of photos and videos, you're gonna gobble that up. What I usually do when I do someone's setup on their computer, I put Google Drive on their phone, their tablet, their iPads, their iMacs, it doesn't matter, whatever you have, or your Windows computer, or any computer you have, and even Linux now has an automatic routine that backs up all your cloud services. So when you set it up, you link the two together, and then you stop saving to, if you choose to, you stop saving to the iCloud so you're not duplicating those files. That's all you need to do.
Yeah.
And with Google Drive and Google Photos, that's the marriage between those two, those files, the system will say, hey, I've just backed up 50 gig worth of photos. Would you like to remove them from your phone so it can breathe again? It's all automatic. All you do is say yes, and it's gone, but it's never deleted. It's stored in the cloud, it's removed from your phone, but it maintains a thumbnail on your phone so you can still look at it, you can manipulate it, you can edit it, but it's not occupying any space on your drive. It's a very different system than the other ones do, and it's quite
Right.
efficient.
So when if you don't have a Google account,
You
No,
have
no,
to
no,
have
no,
a
wait,
Google
wait.
account, not a
a
Gmail account.
Gmail, right. So when you go into Google, you can log into Google
Yes.
with a non-Gmail
Yeah.
account. Okay, so you don't have to get, if you don't have a Gmail account now, you don't have to get one. That was just the way I did things. You can take your current email now, so your email is whatever it is at, and what is the second half of your email?
Mine is AOL.
Okay, so it's AOL, that's
That's fine.
fine. So you, whatever it is, at AOL, you go to Google and you log in to Google with your AOL.com email account, and you'll have a password. Okay, they'll set up a password for you. Once you log in, you now have a Gmail, a G Drive account, and you have 15 gigabytes of storage access through using your AOL.com.
So every email service is a Google service. Not every Gmail is the other way around. So Yahoo, AOL, even iCloud, you can replicate any email service to be a Google Drive service with all the features. The only thing you're gonna miss is you're not gonna be able to use Gmail.
Gmail, email.
That's
Gmail
it.
email.
So I usually suggest creating a Gmail account and using that as your primary, but you don't have to.
I have one, but I just never use it.
Okay. You should use it, it's a lot safer, much safer.
This one up here first, sir.
I got a question about the cloud.
Okay.
Now, I have an iPhone,
Right,
and I do pay the 99 cents a month,
right.
and I take pictures or whatever I'm doing on it. I don't put anything into a cloud, it just goes.
It just goes.
And then when my phone is, what you'd say, full, it just keeps going into the cloud. What happens when the cloud gets full also?
They send you a message and they ask for more money.
Now, if I also have a Google account, a Gmail,
Yes.
okay?
Yeah,
And I don't think I use that at all.
right.
But is it easy to just take what's in the iCloud
Yes.
and put it over?
Not from the iCloud,
Yeah.
but from the
From the phone.
iPhone. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're synchronized, so.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying, you have, your computer is a Chrome OS Flex.
Right.
It automatically backs up anything that your iPhone has brought to it. So if you take a snapshot, take a silly snapshot and take a picture of it, you'll see it show up on your computer immediately. That's the way it works
In the Google,
in Google.
in Google.
Yeah.
So is he already backing up?
He's
on it?
already backed up.
We're already backing up.
And you, by the way, I'll
Thank you,
mention,
Cal.
nobody.
He did, I don't care what I'm doing.
I don't, so I run a small business here, and I won't touch anyone's computer to service it unless it has cloud backup. So that's just a rule that I've set up because I don't want to risk anyone losing data or having a mishap while I'm working on the machine and I blow away your drive. So I always back it up to the cloud.
I'm pushing over a terabyte now,
Nice.
and would I, is this better than a Robocopy with a hard disk or a NAS drive?
Better?
So are you working on the iPhone or you working?
No, desktop.
Got a desktop with a terabyte of stuff.
So safety, it's safer, so use Carbonite. Carbonite is a cloud service. If you're using a NAS drive and you step on it, or somebody rolls over it, or it just fails.
Yeah, but
because-
it's gonna be $100 a year.
Yeah, I personally feel a lot safer than cloud service, because your one file
Plus it takes
is spread
time.
across thousands of computers, literally thousands of computers. If I pull a RAD drive out of a mainframe, you won't even notice. You could pull a dozen of them out, it doesn't matter. Your files are so well protected in the cloud compared to, and they're encrypted, compared to that NAS drive, or even if you have a big main, a main computer in your house and it's a RAD drive, so you've got a whole RAID service and you got a whole bunch of hard drives. That's pretty good, but if you have just one backup, it could fail. I don't trust it.
Is a NAS drive a hard drive?
NAS drive is a hard
It's a
drive.
physical hard drive.
The physical,
It's a
yeah.
spinning platter, and if it fails, it fails. Yeah.
Route. Wow.
It's set up as grade 1 or grade 2.
Yeah, or 3, 5.
When you have these multiple clouds on your computer, cloud servers, you
Yeah.
have several, and it's easy to get them unintentionally. And also unintentionally have them both the 2 or 3 doing backups.
Oh, yeah.
You
Yeah.
can get into some strange situations.
Went too close?
You can get up where you have files that seemingly are impossible to get rid of or to be conflicting and jamming things up. I speak from experience.
Yeah. And so, right, so that's actually what I'm in the process of doing, is decluttering all my multiple clouds right now and trying to figure out, what things I have on in multiple places and consolidating and only backing it up in one place. Yeah.
So, okay.
Go ahead. Question?
We have one account and, we have like 2 phones and an iPad, I think, on the one account. But anyway, when you were talking about the photos, I have photos in Apple, Google, and Prime. And I know that's Amazon, I guess Amazon.
Amazon?
Yeah.
Oh.
Prime.
And, but it's Prime, that's, it's photos, so I've got them in 3 different spots. So what I'm hearing, and I've gotten messages that my iCloud is full,
Also fast.
and sometimes I'm not sure if it's a scam thing, go here, and if I get a message, I'm kind of afraid to do anything with it.
So there is a strategy. I won't say there's one solution for everybody. It varies. Like Kevin's example, he's scattered across. Most people typically in 2 different cloud services, even if they don't realize it. OneDrive, and there's a class action suit against Microsoft on this, but OneDrive is very invasive. If you delete it, the next time you go through an update, it's back again. They're real, I'll say in a nice way, they're nefarious in what they're doing, and people are kind of objecting to it, especially the people that have migrated over to Windows 11. Windows 10 didn't used to do that, Windows 11 does it. There's actually a club or a group where they have written out all of the hooks in the registry that load Windows 11 updates, and Microsoft has absolutely blown them away, and they keep doing it over and over again. So it's very hard. I usually recommend if you're in a Windows environment and you're Windows 11.
I don't do.
Well, I'm saying to everybody, anybody that typically.
I got you, okay.
Yeah, so if you're in an Apple environment, on the photo side, mainly on the photo side, I recommend that people put, even if it's an Apple, put Google Photos on it and do a replication, and then the system can start deleting things, and Google Photos just keeps track of it all for you automatically. And you don't have that duplicate or triplicate file structure. There's a utility, like what Kevin is going to go through, there's a utility you can run, and it'll find all of your duplicates and triplicates and It's real easy to do, and you just delete everything but the one you want. And so it's pretty easy to do.
I'm old school manual.
You want to?
If someone's gonna delete something, I wanna know what it is and where it is and what it looks like. So I'm
That's fine, too.
taking the time to, and that's just where,
I've got about 32,000 photos, so no, I'm not
Yeah,
doing
no,
it
I
manually.
don't have that. I got like 4,000.
Well, yeah, I don't have Bluetooth like you do,
Yeah.
but, we are not getting a message now, but I have gotten it, where it says your iCloud is full.
Mhm.
Is that how do I, you hear so much
So,
spam stuff, and go
in your
here,
phone, and I keep reaching for my belt to pull out my iPhone, and it's in my coat.
Yeah.
In your phone, you can check your iCloud storage capacity, right in your phone. And it'll tell you right in there how much you have and if you're full. And then it'll ask you, do you want more? And it'll tell you how much per month. But you can go to, in your phone,
Okay.
and it's right in the settings, where you
It's
would
under
look for it.
settings, and I think I've done it before.
In the settings, in the iCloud settings, yeah. You would go in there.
On your computer, you can go to iCloud.com, and it'll show you exactly what's using all the space up.
If we have two phones and an iPad, all of us are sharing the same amount of iCloud space, correct?
Yes,
Is that correct?
that's correct.
Yeah,
And if we have a.
If you set it up as a family share,
right.
you could have to, each one of you could have a separate one.
I
If you're-
think we're.
Each Apple ID has its own share.
Right, but
So
there's
if you
the,
set multiple Apple IDs, every iPhone is usually set up on one Apple ID.
Right.
So that Apple ID comes with 5 gigabytes.
Right.
So if you've got 4 people, the family, each one of them has 5 gigabytes.
right, but there's also a family share, so you can do it either way.
Yeah, but you have to tell them who to share with.
Yes.
Yeah.
Somebody has to pay for the service that you're gonna share as a family. So, I have 100 gig of space. Ronnie has 100 gig through me, and so you share it. She didn't buy a separate 100 gig, and I have 100 gig, and, it works that way. So you're
Yeah,
basically,
we would share. We would share.
yeah, okay.
And if you have, we have an iPad we're no longer using, is that connected
Yeah.
to storage also? I mean, it's just off and it's been off for a year
An iPad,
yes, an iPad, we're not using it.
just factory wipe
Just go
it.
back to factory reset or whatever.
Factory reset it.
And redo it?
Yeah.
And now, does that give us more storage on the other, then that'll give us more storage on the other two
Sure,
devices?
if it's
Okay.
part of your share.
Okay.
Yep.
Simple questions I have,
Yeah.
because I don't know any of this stuff. So I've got, like I said, I've got the share drive, and I've got 100 gigabytes. But With Google.
With Google.
Yeah, paying $9.99 a month or whatever it is.
$16 a year.
Yeah, something like that, for the 100. How do I get my wife to share with that 100?
You go into your Google One settings and say family share, and then just add her email address. She'll get an invitation to your service, and you just split it. You don't control how it's split.
She would have to have photos on her phone to like, tell it to look back at no.
Oh, Google Photos, yes.
Google Phone.
Yes.
Now,
But the cloud service, she's sharing through Google
Oh,
Drive.
yeah. But if she wanted to back up with photos.
Then you
she'd
just
have to
add Google Photos to it, and it will automatically start
tell
sharing.
it to send her photos to your drive.
backup question. Probably something that everybody has. So my wife's got an iPhone that I cannot back up because it's full. And she keeps asking me, what am I gonna do? I said, you've gotta get rid of all these photos. I said, you got too many photos.
Don't get rid of them.
I said, but she's got, we pay the 99 cents a month for her. She's got the 50 gigs that she gets for the iCloud backup. And I'm not sure if she has filled all that up with those photos.
Just have her install Google Photos.
Yep.
It's free.
Yep.
Connect the account, and it'll all sweep right in. You just have to leave it open for about 2 hours. You leave your phone on for about 2 hours. It'll sweep all your photos into Google Photos, put it in the cloud. It'll become part of your shared service, and then you can do whatever you want with the phone.
And then you can just delete the photos from the phone.
Sure.
And they'll still be in that.
You'll get a
Google Drive.
message. You'll get a
They'll be in
message
Google.
in Google Photos that as in Google Photos, has backed up all your photos. It's safe to delete them. It's your choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have to have a new Google Mail account to start that? Or can you do it with his Gmail account?
Everyone's got. No.
You said you back them up and then you could delete them?
After you get a message saying all of your files have been backed up. So if, I don't want to open it up, but
Then if
if
you delete it, you're deleting your photo.
you're not deleting them,
Because they're still in the cloud.
they're still in the cloud.
Deleting them from your iPhone.
You're deleting them from the physical.
Oh, taking them off the phone.
They're off the phone. So once they're sent to the cloud, you're gonna get a message on your phone saying, I have safely backed up 50 gig worth of whatever. If you want, you can delete it. That's your choice. If you delete it, it keeps an icon, it keeps metadata on the phone. So you look at it, you go, oh, my files are still there. I can still see all my photos, but they're not physically there. It's just a thumbnail. If you click on it, you can edit it, you can manipulate it, you can share it with someone. Yeah,
Can you retrieve a photo and put it back on your phone?
absolutely.
Did you go
So,
okay,
up and down.
so it's up and down.
There's two things going on here. I'm going to use my hands. I'm not Italian, but I lived near next door to Italians when growing up. So when he's talking about loading an app on your phone, that's Google Photos.
Google Photos.
Google Photos, right? On your phone, you already look at your photos with the photo app
iPhotos.
on your phone, okay? Those are two different things. So once Google Photos has taken all those photos and put them to the cloud, it maintains control and manipulation of the photos, and the photo app that Apple has, that's where you delete all the photos.
Right.
And they come off your phone. You don't delete them on the Google
They
Photo
go off the
app,
phone, but they're in Google.
because if you delete them on the Google Photo app, then they're
Now,
gone.
if you delete the photos
So-
from the phone, do they then get removed from
No.
no, not from Google, but from Apple's cloud? Or will they still be in Apple's cloud?
If so there's a couple of things that you can do if you want to permanently delete the photos from iCloud.
Right.
They stay there for 30 days. 30 days. If you do, because I just,
In iCloud.
Any cloud.
Any of them.
Oh.
They'll stay there for 30 days. You can go into that recently deleted area and they'll show you all the photos you recently deleted. And you can override that and
Bring them back in.
Or you can bring them back in, yeah.
Because it's senseless to be paying $1 a month to the Apple cloud if you can throw it all into one cloud
It's a
using
choice.
So
Google
once,
Drive.
yeah,
It's a
once you
choice
back
drive.
up on the G drive, those photos are now in 2 different places,
Yeah.
in 2 different programs.
Yeah.
And when you delete on the iPhone over here.
We're getting off subject a little bit, but be aware and be careful that if you have taken all the defaults from the Apple service, their standard format, as far as I know still, is HEIC. It is a proprietary, well, not proprietary, it's a special Apple format. It takes an enormous amount of space. So with Google, when you take a JPEG file, even if it's a RAW file, it's much more compressed. By default, it's going to be about poster size, like 16 by, regular size of a poster. That's its standard. You can make it raw and you can make it as big as you want, but Apple has chosen to use HEIC. It takes an enormous amount of space, so just be aware of that. I would strongly encourage, unless there's a photographer in the community, in the club, I would strongly encourage you standardize on JPEG. Anybody else have an opinion about that? 'Cause it's controversial, but HEIC, I think, is a waste of space, in my opinion. But again, photographers, please weigh in if you want to.
HEIC?
Yeah, it's an Apple thing.
It's a file
It's a
format.
file
Apple,
format.
I never heard of it.
And if you look in the extension, you'll see it's HEIC.
What extension?
The file for the photo.
Oh.
It's something you wouldn't see unless you were.
You won't see it, but it's there.
Hey, I got a storage question.
Story question?
Storage question.
Oh, storage.
You saw the picture up there of a room with all these files in it, that's where they're storing stuff, that closet.
Not really.
Is there a physical building or facility? A
Yes.
physical building that has that stuff?
Yes.
It's a data center.
But your file is spread across thousands probably, hundreds and hundreds of servers.
But there's a physical building somewhere. Because I think the AI, to build AI, they bought, somebody told me they bought a huge parcel of land
Going up in the
in
clouds.
Pennsylvania to build a building to store stuff.
We're building it right here in Virginia.
Yeah.
Is that,
Yeah.
so there's a physical building that somebody's
So
managing?
Colossus is the biggest computer in the world right now, and it's a physical building. A physical building, that's what it is. But there's lots and lots of them. It's not the only one.
There's storage, but there's also processing and AI.
So who's to say that if an electrical grid problem came along and they could
That's why
wipe
it's
out
not.
the elec-
That's why it's not in one place.
So
It's
this,
scattered all over the place.
that is here and they have the backup over there.
That's
Yeah,
that's what's called network hardening. So, one server can go down, one drive can go down, one facility in theory can go down.
We're thinking nuclear war.
It would take a pretty significant catastrophe to have an entire facility go down, but it can happen. But there are backups.
They're all back.
Backups or backups. Yeah.
In this country?
Yeah, oh yeah.
They're only in this country, on the cloud? Where is it?
I don't want to say they're only in this country. I can't speak to that. We have any network guys here?
Yeah, yeah.
Chris has them, the Aussies have them.
They're all over the world. They're everywhere, yeah. They're everywhere. Okay, let's pull
Yes.
together. Go ahead, control this.
Were they rowdy?
Yeah, that's good.
Charlie, do you have a question? Charles?
Yeah, I'm trying to open my phone. And I went to my Gmail account, and the 3 bars didn't do it, but I hit my face, and it said I had 30% usage on my something or other. And I
One.
tried to hit that, it said manage my account. I tried to hit that, and it didn't seem to be anything. I didn't see any folders. I didn't see anything that looks like a normal file.
Yeah.
come up
So-
after, take a look.
Yeah, we can do it after, but it's called Google One. That's where everything gets funneled into, and it keeps track of that. And it actually is a utility that cleans your drive. It's a very nice system. So it's called Google One. Just, you know, type it in Google and it'll pop right up. And it's free. Okay,
Okay, that's it.
that's it?
That's all I
Okay,
have.
so, thank you, Karen.
Thank you.